Okay, today, Cobra, the Lemonade Man, the Bandit, whatever you want to call me, coming to you from 7170 Studios here in Newport Richey, Florida. We normally talk about my muscle cars, my cars, guitars, the new cars, the Mach 1, the GT Bandit, the 69 Red Bull Mach 1, the 427 Blue Ice, which I'm going to get back any day now. Talking about that, talking about my cars and guitars. But today we're going to talk about guns, okay? I have a lot of experience with guns and hunting. Some of you guys might know my background a little bit. Some of you do, some of you don't. Not going to talk about that today. But anyway, I have a lot of experience with guns and hunting and shooting since 1976. And I'll be 56 this year. So I've hunted many game animals in different states. And I can advise to you some good calibers. I don't want to talk about really hunting today. I want to talk about self-defense handguns right now. And the reason why I want to talk about guns is because you have all these antis that are basically trying to satisfy a left-wing political agenda. I don't really want to get into the politics of it too much. I really don't, because everyone has their right to their opinions. So I don't want to get too far involved with that. Mainly making this because of the fact that I believe everyone should have a basic understanding of guns. Before we talk about any subject, we should know about what we're talking about. A lot of people talk about subjects they don't know anything about. Really kind of want to make it about a handgun self-defense situation today. Okay, if you are looking for your first handgun, and again, keep in mind I've had guns for a long time and I've used many weapons in different applications in different states. So if I tell you something about it, you can bank on it. If you're looking for a handgun and you want a revolver, you can get a semi-automatic pistol or you can get a revolver. Revolver is very reliable. It goes bang pretty much all the time. Really not prone to jamming. You don't have to keep them super clean like you would a semi-auto. These are just general rules of thumb. Any device can fail, but if you're looking for something simple, easy to use, reliable, goes bang, get a revolver, okay? I have revolvers and pistols. When I turned 21 back in 1988, my first gun was a Smith & Wesson Model 686 stainless 4-inch 357 Magnum. Why did I choose that gun? Well, I'll tell you why. Because of some of the reasons I just mentioned. Also, you can not only shoot a 357 Magnum through it, you could shoot a lower recoiling, easier to shoot 38 Special through it for target shooting. If you don't want to have a real loud day at the gun range or what have you, run 38 Specials through it. That'll still get the job done in self-defense. If you're gonna use the gun in self-defense, take some classes, read up, talk to people about it, okay? But if you're gonna get a revolver, okay, I would recommend either a Smith & Wesson 357 or a Ruger SP101, Ruger, I think that's what it is, SP101, or get a 686. I like the stainless versions, especially if you live in humid conditions, a little less prone to moisture buildup. But I prefer the 357 for a few reasons, and I'll show you one of my 357s in a minute. Because you can get a hollow point bullet, 125 grain, and if you use that bullet, it's traveling at about 1,450 feet a second, hitting about 585 pounds of foot force. Basically, according to FBI statistics, it has a one-shot stop ratio of 96 to 97%, which basically means if you use the gun, God forbid, in a self-defense situation, you're going to stop your assailant almost 10 out of 10 times. Can't do better than that. Yes, there's stronger calibers and cartridges like a 44 Magnum and what have you, but you want a bullet to stay in the assailant, open up, do maximum damage so you put the person down, okay? I don't advocate violence, I'm just saying in self-defense. I don't want to make this video too long. I want to make it somewhat interesting, short enough where you grasp it, and not so long where you go to sleep looking at me. Okay, so I like the Smiths. I grew up on Smith & Wessons and Rugers, but I prefer the Smiths. I like the smoothness of the trigger and everything. Basically, like I said, you can run 38 Specials through it. Basically 38. It's a good round, all-purpose round. I mean, you can use it for self-defense, and you can get hollow points in it. Hollow points basically is a scalloped bullet. If you look at a bullet, I should have brought one out here. Maybe next video I'll bring one. It's basically kind of hollowed out up top and has scallops, so when it hits, it kind of opens up. The bullet's up on top of the bullet, it kind of looks like a hole on top, and when it hits, it kind of spreads apart. And as it's pushing through its intended target, it opens up and it stays intact. Sometimes it'll break off a little, but it usually stays intact driving through. Full metal jacket is basically there's no hole up top. It's not hollowed out. It's basically a jacket, a one-piece bullet that is made for penetration. It's not made to open up. It's basically designed to punch through harder objects in more or less military applications. You don't really want to use full metal jacket in self-defense unless you have to, because if you shoot someone and the bullet goes through somebody and they hire a lawyer and you hurt someone that's standing behind your intended target, then you're going to probably suffer the consequences. Anyway, so if you're looking for a reliable gun that goes bang and it's going to give you what you need in a self-defense situation, again, I would go to 357 Magnum. I would go with a 4-inch barrel. It'll give you a little extra performance over a 3-inch barrel. Plus, the recoil will be subdued because of the longer barrel. The heavier a gun is, the easier it is to shoot because it absorbs the recoil. 6-inch barrel, it's a little bit too long. That's more for target shooting. Snub nose, it's good for up close self-defense, and that's okay. But I don't know. I like the 4-inch barrels. It gives you, a little bit more range, but still able to conceal. Okay, so I'm going to show you one of my guns. Okay. This is, and it's unloaded. The first thing, you never point the gun at anything or anybody, okay? You always want to make sure that this gun is not loaded, okay? There is a release catch here, okay? You can see it right here. There's a release catch, okay? That's what I call it, but it's basically, you push it in, you depress it in, and you push the cylinder open, okay? So most of you guys that have been around guns, you know about this. This is more for people, beginners. Okay, see, there's no bullets in there, see? You can spin that, there's no bullets, okay? And there's nothing in the barrel. Okay, so now you know the gun is empty, but always treat it as if it is loaded. And you're basically pushing it in, and you just, you kind of rock it a little bit, push it in, rock it, there you go, okay? This is double action, okay? Pull back, see? And then when you go like this, you pull the trigger, then it goes there. But you can shoot the gun in double action mode, which basically, you're pulling back like this. It's a little bit harder to do because it's a double action, okay? Or you could actually pull the hammer back and you see the trigger goes down. Now it's a much easier firing mechanism, okay? So, you can shoot double action or single, it really doesn't matter, okay? You have adjustable sights on this. This is a Smith & Wesson Model 686, 4-inch barrel, 357 Magnum. You can see the sights on here. There's little screws for windage. Well, there's a screw here, okay? There's a screw there for windage. Okay, you turn that, either goes left or right, the blade, and then you have an elevation screw up top. You might not have to mess with that too much. A red ramp sight, front sight, okay? All right, and that is the 4-inch Smith & Wesson. 357 Magnum, Model 686. Sometimes I have so many guns, I forget which ones I have. So you can see, right, it is a big round. Okay, this is the gun I would recommend for any maybe not for a super beginner, but once you get some shooting under your belt, maybe with a 38, this is the one gun that I would get. If I had to get one gun for self-defense, this would be it, okay? It's not gonna, it has a low probability to jam. Again, you don't have to keep these things super clean, okay? They're gonna go bang almost every time. And you want something, especially if you're not really an avid shooter, you should always become familiar with your gun. But if you're the type that just wants a gun and you're going to the range occasionally, get something simple, something easy. You don't want to be dealing with mag releases and making sure your action's clean all the time. I have semi-automatic pistols too, but in a self-defense situation, this is the gun here, okay? So I'll just put that away right now. So that's it. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about guns. You know, like I say, you can run 38 special through it, which is a common round, and you can run a higher powered 357 Magnum round for self-defense in there. And that's one of the major reasons I like it. And it has, again, a 96, 97% stop rate according to FBI crime statistics. Every time if you had to use it, you know that you're gonna do the job and you're gonna be out of harm's way. Okay, so that's it. That is, again, a Smith & Wesson model 686-6. Basically, it's a 4-inch barrel. The 686s had different versions. They had a 686-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on what year it is, what years they come out. You know, and sometimes you'll even get like a rubber grip with it. Change out. I never change out. I just use what the gun comes with, unless I have a compelling reason to use something else. Plastic speed loaders. Okay, we're not going to talk about speed loaders too much. You can read up about that, just to carry extra bullets. Again, that's it. That's your 357. So if you're in the market for a revolver, I would go with a Smith 686-6 4-inch barrel, or a Ruger. I believe it is the SP101 357 Magnum. You can't go wrong either way. Ruger has a solid dependability rating, and they are known to make probably the most rugged firearms known. Smith & Wesson is a very rugged gun too. Smith seems a little smoother on the trigger. That's why I like him. Anyway, that's it. Bandit gives you something new today, other than guitars and cars. Okay, and that's it. Share, like, and subscribe. Let the Lemonade Man enjoy his guns. Long live the Second Amendment. Bye bye.